Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over what 95% of NFL quarterbacks do when it comes to their development, and we're going to start the video right now.
This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become. All right, so the topic for the day is what can you do as a quarterback to train and improve? I know we're going into the off season here, and there's a lot of different questions, and really the main thing that you want to think about here is you only have a certain amount of time, of hours that you could put into, training when it comes to developing your mechanics, getting yourself stronger, getting yourself more explosive, faster, all those types of things. So, what is important for you to be doing when it comes to your overall development. And the thing that 95% of NFL quarterbacks have done in the past, this is from a 2015 study, is they've played multiple sports, right? And so at the end of the day, you can't just be playing football. When you only play one sport, when you only specialize, you have a higher chance of burning out, you have a higher chance of injury risk. There's a lot of things that end up coming to play here that are obviously negative. So you want to be able to play more sports. There's like 75% of NFL quarterbacks play 3 or more sports growing up. So the main thing that I would say when it comes to your overall training, overall development is play multiple sports. And the reason why is you have to be able to be explosive. You have to be a great athlete. That's one of the things that I've done here in the last month or so is I went back over our throw program because we're going into a new season and I always want to make changes, make adjustments. And going into 2022, I'm really putting a focus on being a better athlete, right? It's not about being a great quarterback. It's about being a great athlete, right? I don't want you to, obviously I'm not going to make it so you're going to become a worse quarterback by doing the training, but I think I've made it a little bit too segmented and specialized towards just quarterback development. And I think at the end of the day, that's going to be a disservice for you in the long term. I think the better option for you to here is to be, learn how to be more explosive, have better change of direction, have better balance, have better body control. Because, the reality of the situation is a lot of you guys are not going to play for NFL offensive lines, right? Really none of you guys are probably going to play for NFL offensive lines. You're going to end up playing, or at least this upcoming season, you're going to play for a, high school offensive line or a, college offensive line or a, junior college offensive line. And so you're not going to have plenty of time to just sit back there and throw the football. You have to be able to break tackles. You got to be able to make plays, right? You can't go back there because no college coach is going to want to hear from a quarterback that, hey, I'm a great quarterback. I just can't, my O-line can't block for me, right? All O-lines can't block for you. That's the issue that everybody has to do. It's not a question of, if that's going to be a thing. It's what can you do with an O-line that can't block for you, right? So if you're somebody that just takes a bunch of sacks or, has a terrible, does a terrible job because your offensive line isn't blocked, then that's not something that a college coach is going to want, or an NFL coach, anybody's going to want that. Quarterback University is where committed quarterbacks come to take their game to the next level. Improve your throwing power, velocity, accuracy, and get the ball out of your hands faster. Not only are there videos to improve your mechanics, but there's also workout tutorials and also drills to help you improve as well. We want to help you get noticed, which is why we also included a recruiting services section. We'll have quizzes that you'll be able to take to be able to make sure that you actually get the information and are able to repeat it back. In case you have any shoulder, back, wrist, or elbow soreness, there is a section to address that as well. Click the link here in order to get started. Thanks for watching. Right? They want to have quarterbacks that are able to make plays. And so how can you train yourself to be able to make plays? Well, you got to have better body control. You got to have better balance. You got to be, your change of direction's got to be great. You have to be able to throw on the run, practice throwing on the run, have a quick release, right? So those are the things that you should be training. And that's really what I'm putting a big focus on here in your development, right? Not only are we going to be adding a bunch of different exercises that are going to improve your overall athleticism, but even in our breakdowns and where we're putting a big focus on, this season in terms of what do we want to see is how do you throw on the run and how can we improve your release? Because at the end of the day, if you have those two things down, then we could build in, throwing velocity and throwing distance, or even accuracy. But if your release is long and you're not able to throw on the run, then that really makes it so you're, as a quarterback, not as valuable, right? The more value, and I want to give you more reasons to be able to get on the field, more opportunities for you to play. Because a lot of quarterbacks and a lot of teams, even if there are, you're competing and you're more of somebody that is able to escape the pocket and throw on the run a little bit more, there's teams that will have a package that will just work for you, right? There's more of a drop back passer type of guy, and then more of a throw on the run type of guy. And so you give yourself a better opportunity to play when you can scramble around and make plays on the run. That's what I was able to do. I was able to play, and even in college, because I was able to scramble around and make plays and ran the read zone option. And so, I was always looking for ways to, how can I get on the field? What can I do to, get on the field? So there's times where even me being the size that I am, I was a blocking tight end. I wanted to get on the field. So I would do anything. You put me in, coach. And so that was just the mentality, and I want you to be able to have that same thought process. Another thing that ends up being important, or another thing to think about here, is just because you are training at school and you guys are doing bench press and shoulder press, that you don't think you're doing enough stuff, right? There are, at the end of the day, there's 32 muscles in your arms and in your shoulders, right? And all of those muscles, or mostly all those muscles, can be trained in a variety of different ways. And so you don't want to get caught up in just training a few different muscle groups, primarily because that will end up really making a negative impact on what your performance is going to be as a quarterback. Now, you don't want to have too much range of motion in your shoulder as well. You have to have a good understanding of what's going on within that joint in order to really have a lot of success. You got to have a lot of strength within really the deceleration, and we talked about this a lot, the muscles that decelerate in the shoulder and decelerate in the arm. So that's going to be from one arm rows and pull-ups and different types of exercises that will build up the rotator cuff in that back. And that's going to be super important to help you, again, decelerate the throw. When it comes to improving your throwing velocity, throwing distance, you got to have the muscles built up in the back to be able to help you decelerate. And you also want to be able to maximize your levers in order to do that. So, when you end up training and just having, a big, strong bench press, then that's going to not correlate over to a large amount of improvement as a quarterback in general, right? You have to be focused on building up all the different planes and really put a big emphasis on what is it that you're doing to maximize your stretch shortening cycle. We talked about that in the past as well, which is just like your explosiveness. You have to be explosive as a quarterback because, you watch Kyler Murray, even Tom Brady. Tom Brady is an explosive dude. I know everybody doesn't think that because, he ran such a slow 40, but he is explosive. He goes from, standing in a pocket to moving around and has great footwork and is able to really utilize his lower body very, very well in an explosive fashion. Now, he doesn't have a lot of long distance, musculature to be able to help him run super fast, but he's an explosive guy. Again, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, all those guys are super explosive. That's why they're able to throw how they throw. So you have to be able to build yourself to be explosive. You can't build yourself to be slow. Like, this isn't about being slow. It's about being strong. It's about being fast. It's about being extremely explosive. It's about having quickness. It's about having acceleration. Like, all those things are what make you into a better quarterback. Not being slow, not, having a tempo, not, having a being relaxed, like all those things. It's important to be relaxed, obviously, in the pocket, but you don't want to be, your muscles don't want to be relaxed. Your muscles want to be, quick twitch and fast and ready to go in order for you to have success, right? In order for you to be able to build as a quarterback. So don't think you're going to be doing yourself some favors by, doing slow sets or, not putting a lot of weight on. Like, even if you're a quarterback, you need to be strong. Everybody that plays football is strong. You have to be strong too. And so you got to add weight. And if you can train with Tom Brady and do all of his, band work and all that type of great stuff, then do that. But if you don't, and you think that by just, doing body weight stuff, you're going to be able to, build yourself up to be a Division I quarterback or NFL quarterback, it's going to be very, very difficult. You know, you got to be adding weight. You got to be, you know, trying a wide variety of different exercises. You have to be trying different sports. You know, there's a lot of things that are at your plate here. It's not easy, right? It's not going to take a minimal amount of work to get you from where you are today to, you know, where you want to be a Division I or NFL quarterback. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a consistent grind in order to get there. So the whole point of this video is check out our 3-month program. I think it'll really help you out a ton, especially if you are misguided, right? If you don't have any sense of direction of what you should be doing, of what you should be working on, then you should really take a look at my 3-month program, because it's going to add in such a large variety of different things. There's going to be muscles that you never thought you could train. There's going to be exercises that you never knew that you could do. I'm going to add in, you know, you're going to get faster, you're going to get stronger, you're going to be in a much better shape, you're going to have a better understanding of how to throw, you're going to have a quicker release, you're going to throw the ball further. Like, all these things are going to happen to you in just 3 months. So if you can give a 90-day commitment, right, if you're in a position to give a 90-day commitment to yourself and to your development, I would highly recommend you checking out that program, because I know it's going to make a big difference for you. Balance, you know, landing, body control, all that stuff's going to be in there, and so much more. So, as always, thanks for watching the video. If you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you can leave those down below. And as always, we'll talk to you soon.